In the second session about career success, we tried to look more critically at the concept of career success and how it might be construed, in particular focusing on intrinsic and extrinsic success, as both are an exploding area of research in terms of general career success and gender and career success, so it's important we consider them. We considered what measures of objective and subjective career success might look like and the extent to which they are independent of one another, and discussed how one might influence the other. For example, how earnings might affect how satisfied one felt with one's job, or whether one had a sense of safety or security in the job, but also talked about the way in which these things were correlated, and subjective career success might also impact objective career success, or there might be some third variable that explains both of these things. We went on to look at Hall's model of psychological success. The model shows how objective measures of success, such as increased income, status, or power, then lead to changes in how we view our subjective measures of success. This, in turn, causes us to change identity, or, as will be stated in a Marxist interpretation, internalizing our own oppression. So in practice, failure to achieve highly regarded work leads to an individual presenting themselves as not wanting that type of work, or that type of success, akin to a teenage strop, that's all, I didn't want it anyway. So it leaves us with the question, is subjective career success freedom to drive one's own career in line with one's own values, and thereby freeing the individual from the objective career success traditional assumptions about how to make it? Or we ask the key question, is it a resigned response to oppression? We then went on to look at what career success was for you, and here I ask you to define career for yourself by finishing this sentence. Take a moment to do it now. To me, career success is... Before, we went on to look at Guber et al.'s work on this. See, there's a handout showing the categories used. If you didn't receive a copy in class, they're available on Mold to download. So you can look at the ways in which other people responded to this question about what career success was to them. Finally, we went back to the idea of habitus and capital. If you're not familiar with this, review the videos from the Career Success 1 lecture and the extent to which individuals are able to play the game, whether they have the right frameworks or habitus allowing them to be successful by any measures. And it'd be helpful if you reflected on the career capital you hold now. In class, we talked about these 4 different forms of career capital, along with others. So, for example, do you have the economic resources that you can use to help you buy opportunities? Remember, we're not talking about cold-hearted, explicit buying of an opportunity here, but do you, for example, have a sibling who lives in London who could put you up for a month so that you could pursue an unpaid internship? That would be regarded as economic career capital. Or would your parents support you whilst you undertook a volunteering programme? Take some time to make a list of the capital you have in each of these categories. It'll be useful for you to consider when you're action planning element of your assignment, but also so that you are not missing the opportunity to use certain types of capital. Finally, I'll leave you with a task. Refer back to the success criteria you identified for yourself and reflect on what you might need to do in order to achieve the sort of success that you personally want.